Chapter 54. Through the thin glass of the window in Magistrate Tote's office, Leonie watched daylight break over the mountains. Black smoke billowed in the wood to the southeast, and Leonie could only guess at what that could be. The hearth raged behind her, stoked nearly to the point of foolishness, but she still felt cold. Sleep had rested her body some, but her mind had found no solace. She had questions that needed answers, plans that needed making, and people that needed dealing with. And she was so cold. Leonie turned from the window and pulled her cloak tighter around her shoulders. A plate of fruit and cheese had been laid out upon the desk, and she forced herself to pluck a grape and eat. She had no appetite, but skipping meals would do little to help with her waning energy. So she would eat, whether she liked it or not. Beside the bowl of fruit, her naked sword had been carefully propped up, not yet cleaned or sharpened. She dare not yet be separated from it. "Where is he?" Leonie asked. Amandine turned, her hand still holding the spine of a book she had halfway freed from its spot on the shelf. "He should be here shortly, I would imagine. I am sure if he was awake when you called for him." "I am unsure if he was awake when you called for him." Leonie had heard of Oli's foray into the town looking for his sister and his confrontation with the captain. Oddly, though, the priest said he had watched Oli collapse shortly after. Evanvolt had Oli taken to an impromptu infirmary and kept in isolation there. The captain had added a pair of guards. If anything, the princess imagined the woodsman, with his newly formed powers, would have been off in search of his sister immediately, and that would have been bad for her indeed. "Perhaps I should go to him," Leonie said carefully, choosing another grape from the plate. "Perhaps you should remember you are still a princess. You do not seek out commoners, they come to you." Amandine had chosen a book now and had walked to the window, carefully turning its pages. Leonie tapped her fingers against the desk. "Oli Ricker may not be a commoner any longer. Whatever unholy power he now has, it has not changed his birth. A commoner is a commoner, no matter how great the blaspheme. This blasphemy may yet save our kingdom. Deus will save our kingdom, and he shall do it without heresy." "And where was Deus at Worcester?" Amandine slammed the book close, her eyes growing dark. "Not all of us question God like petulant children, Your Highness." Leonie leaned back, her lips thinning. The urge to throw something grew incredibly strong. Perhaps it is only petulant children who contain courage needed to take desperate gambles. Perhaps it is on the other side of questioning, on the other side of heresy, where a regime of corrupt old men can finally be unmasked. "You go too far." Amandine turned at her. For once, her eyes showed wrinkles of anger and age all around them. Her porcelain mask cracked. "I shall go only as far as I need to save my kingdom," Leonie said, flinging the chair backward. "The Order of Deus will choose to let the people of this kingdom burn, their corpses picked by crows, rather than reach out and take the only power which could have saved them. And why? Because that power will threaten their hold on this kingdom. Heresy and lies. God will not save this kingdom, Duchess Amandine. I will. Me. And I will burn to ashes anyone or anything that stands in my way, even the Order. Do you not yet understand?" Amandine stepped back, hand rising to her lips. Leonie held her sword, though she was unsure when that had happened. Finally, as though with great effort, Amandine shook her head, rattling the beads in her carefully braided hair. And then she left. Leonie fumed for a moment longer as the door closed, then weariness took her. Stumbling towards the hearth, the tip of her sword dragging along the wooden floorboards, Leonie sat in a chair by the fire. She wanted wine, but lacked the energy to call for any. It was impossible for her to tell how long she sat like that, but long enough for the fire to warm her toes and comfort her, if only a little. "Milady." She did not turn at the sound of Captain's voice. "Yes." "I have brought Oli Ricker to see you, as you have requested." Leonie turned now. The captain stood just inside the room, his face pale. She had tried to warn him, to brace him for what he would see, but it hardly mattered. Say what she might, Oli Ricker looked unnerving, and even more so in the daylight. His cheeks were gaunt, his beard disheveled, and he had not bathed. His clothes and every inch of visible skin had been coated in soot, dirt, and long-dried blood. But his eyes, the sight of them made her tighten her grip on her sword. He looked so much like the Yelmes. Perhaps his only redeeming feature, the only thing which still made him look truly human, was the dog at his heels. She tried to smile. It would do no good if he hated her. Our hero awakens, it seems. Ollie frowned as he stepped into the room, Tuck padding along beside him. Hero? She mocked him, surely. It would have angered him, but he found he hardly cared. It was hot enough in the study that sweat broke out along his forehead. Could books catch fire from heat alone? He wasn't sure. But he thought it may be possible here. Tuck whimpered and made for the window, propping himself up onto the sill and nuzzling the cool glass. Ollie thought maybe he could also feel the cool touch of glass on his own nose and cheek, though he still stood by the door. He turned his attention back to the princess. You owe me, he said. Do I? Leonie dropped the smile that she'd been wearing. 499 gold Newmans. Ollie walked toward the princess, listening as Thibault's chainmail shifted. He almost wanted the captain to attack, to give him a reason to be angry, to fight, to summon power. Leonie cursed. You were never going to pay me, were you? Ollie said, fists clenching. Tuck dropped from the windowsill and turned back toward them. No. Ollie blinked. Whatever he had expected the princess to say, it wasn't the truth. Then Leonie looked at him, really looked at him, her eyes searching him up and down, and when she met his own eyes, she didn't flinch or look away. It is time, she said slowly, placing her sword gently on the floorboards, for us to parley as equals. The words tasted strange in Leonie's mouth, but she meant them. Ollie was more than she had ever imagined, though she still hated him. But hating him did not mean he was not worthy of her respect. In the last 2 days, he had saved her life numerous times, fought terrible beasts, and then killed dozens of Yelma's warriors. And he had killed Star Davna. What do you mean by parley? Ollie shifted on his feet, eyes roaming about the room. It means come and sit. She gestured to the chair near the hearth beside her, and let us see how to work together. I don't want to work with you, Ollie said, but he sat in the chair across from her all the same, his dog lying at his feet, panting. The feeling is mutual, Leonie said, rubbing her eyes, but wanted is not the same as needed, and we need each other. Why do you think I need you? I have information about your sister, for starters. Ollie stayed silent, eyes narrowing. What information? The captain told me where she was off to, and with whom she left. I would be glad to exchange such information, provided there was reciprocal benefit. Ollie waved his hand. She's gone toward the mountains with Inej, my tanner. Leonie sat back, glancing at Thibault, but he only raised an eyebrow. Well, it appears I am rather shy on leverage, then. Her mouth grew dry, and she gestured to Thibault for the glass on the desk. After a sip, she said, Is it gold you want, then? Ollie said nothing for a long time. In his mind, he could still see the white flames and feel the wounds on his body, Layla's body. Star Davna had said that she had healed the damage done to Layla before she surrendered control, though Ollie had no way of knowing if she told the truth. Still, Layla was with Inej, which had to be good. He had only been awake for a quarter of an hour, but there had been several hours in the room with Star Davna before they had awoken him. Plenty of time to think. If he wanted to, he thought he could find Layla. Inej would leave a trail easy enough to follow, and Ollie could move faster than they could. But he believed Star Davna when she said that together, Ollie and Layla would be a beacon for the Yelmes. If she were going west toward Velik, then maybe he would keep her safer if he drew his attention eastward and brought the fight to the Yelmes. That's what Stardavna thought would keep Layla safe, and Ollie had watched her save Layla's life. The Ancient One had a vested interest in keeping Layla safe, so Ollie felt inclined to believe her that going eastward made the most sense. If you kill all the Yelmes, darling, Stardavna had said, who would be left to threaten your sister? So Inej could keep Layla safe for now, but Ollie could keep her safe forever. He had only to bring the fight to the Dark Ones. I don't have 499 gold Newmans, Leonie said. The princess shifted in her chair, knuckles going white on the sword she held. I am sorry I lied. Ollie snorted. I doubt that. Leonie made to say something else, but Ollie leaned forward, cutting her off. Look, it ain't gold I want now. Or not yet, anyway. I'll go ahead and fight your war, but it won't be for free. Leonie took a deep breath. I'm listening. Ollie smiled, realizing this was another form of power, and one he had never had before. What had Leonie called it? Leverage? Leonie needed him, and Ollie planned to hold that out before her for as long as he could.